Okay, I think we should make a start. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Thank you. I'm still admitting people into the meeting, so if I do pause, that's the reason. All right. Okay. Thank you for coming on board. I'll be taking you through MEC 4444, which is industrial noise and its control. Now, I think most of you would have, look, first thing first is I'm going to record this session, okay? So when we're done, I'll try and put it up on Moodle for you. All right. Now, thank you so much for coming. And I hope all of you are well. MEC 4444. Now, I think most of you would have seen the Moodle site. Now, I'll just briefly go through the Moodle site with you. First thing is this is what the Moodle site will look like. Now, I understand that this is a very different time that we are living in. I have tried to make it as simple as I possibly can. You will see that everything is arranged in weeks. All the lecture materials are recorded and they are all loaded up in terms of week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. Now, the overarching topic for each week are also stated on the folder against the week number. Now, if you look further down onto the Moodle page, you will see things like tutorial materials, additional notes, and assignment. Now, when you click onto additional notes, you will see a whole lot of documents that I've included here. Please go through them and have a look at what they are. You do not need to know them now, but you will find that these are the documents that we will be referring to as we progress along in this course. Now, one of the important thing is your tutorial material. Now, if you look at your tutorial material, it looks like so, okay? Now, this here, MEC, for example, MEC 4444 quiz 1, this is the tutorial problem that I would like you to attempt, okay? Now, in the past, we have all these problems set up like so. Problem set 1 all the way to problem set number 9. Now, the thing is, because of this previously, what I expect people to do is to attempt the problem during the prep class, and they will have to submit the solution for assessment towards the end of the class. Now, because times are different now, we need to do things online. And what we have done is to translate the problem in the problem set into a multiple choice quiz. Now, although it says that it's a multiple choice quiz, but you find that you will need to work out the solution for that particular problem. And when you're happy with the number, you go to this quiz, okay, and then you key in your solution, and you will be marked automatically. Now, what that means is that during the tutorial, you will not be required to approach the demonstrator for marking. Your time that is spent during the problem solving class, you can actually ask questions and make full use of the whoever is the tutor. In this case, it will be myself. Okay. So if you have any queries about the problem, that is a time to ask. And look, quiz 1, for example, you see quiz 1 is to be submitted by the 17th of August. You will not be required to do quiz 1 or attempt quiz 1 until next week, next Wednesday. Now, the due date on the 17th of August means that you have at least 5 or 6 days to complete this, all right? Which means that you have plenty of time. You do not have to rush. The reason why we choose to do it this way is so that we do not want to impose additional stress on you, okay? Do this properly, learn it well, and then you'll be okay. All right, so this is a tutorial. That is a problem set. That is the quiz that's associated with the problem set 1. And when you're happy with the solution, go into this quiz number 1, enter your solution, and you will get marked automatically. Okay? Any questions about that?
Yeah. Actually, is it like the whole problem set or only the last problem or the 1 or 2 problems in the whole problem set?
The last problem. You have a look. You have a look at the sheet, and you'll see that invariably it will be the last problem in the problem worksheet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They got it.
Okay. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm still getting used to. So you're not alone, okay? So I'm also trying to get this thing done correctly, so that okay. Now, and then the next thing is assignment. Now there will be an assignment, okay? The description for the assignment is shown in this PDF document. Now, again, because of the situation that we are in, I have made this assignment extremely guided. So I have turned this assignment into kind of like in the form of a Moodle quiz. Now, when you click onto this Moodle quiz, you will find that the instructions for this assignment is pretty much set up, okay? So when you go into the quiz, what I would require you to do is when you're doing your assignment, do cut and paste your word description into the space as provided. And if there's any figures or illustrations that you wish to include, you can then download it into this region, which is associated with the part of the question that you'll be required to answer. Okay? Now, this assignment here will be live from now until the assignment due date. So you can do that anytime you want. Okay? I will confirm the due date of the assignment for you, but I think it is pretty much stated in the write-up. Okay? Now, and of course, I'll post the solution for the tutorial problem as we progress in the course. Now, in this subject, we used to have laboratories. given now, fortunately, some of the laboratories can actually be done at home. Okay, we have adapted quite a few of this lab now, but if you look at the lab material, please have a look at the write-up. Okay, and now the only laboratory that I require you to hand up a report for assessment is the transmission loss. Is that associated with the transmission loss lab? Okay. Now I know that I've said again, this laboratory reporting is all extremely guided. If you click onto this document, you will see what I mean. I have basically transposed everything. Instead of having it a free response reporting, I have it is all very guided, and it is in the form of a Moodle quiz where you have to answer some of the questions in text form, and then there will be a space for you to room for you to attach any figures or illustration. I say again, only the transmission loss lab needs to be submitted for assessment. Now, for the noise measurement lab, although there is a lab reporting as shown here, you do not need to submit this thing for assessment. But what I would like you to do is to have to use the template, and from there you will be able to see the aims and to be able to see why you do that particular lab noise measurement. Okay. Now, for both noise measurement and the transmission loss lab, in the past, we use a sound level meter that is available at our department. But because of the way things are at the moment, what I would require you to do is to download a noise measurement app onto your phone. Okay, now I'm now assuming that all of you have a smartphone, but if you don't, can you please email me and let me know? Okay, you download that app, and we will give the lab instructor or demonstrator will tell you which is the preferred app that you should be downloading, and then from there you can do some of these exercises. Okay. Now the sound absorption lab is essentially a series of lab recording. I've done the lab already. I have recorded the lab, and what you will see when you look at the lab recordings is how this noise absorption, how measurement of noise absorption coefficient of materials can be done using an impedance tube. And you will see that the theory that's behind this measurement will be done in either week 2 or week 3 of this course. Okay. Again, I have included a PPT which basically allows you to plot this the noise absorption characteristic. Because I have already done the lab, the numbers associated with the reflection coefficient, the numbers that you require to calculate the reflection coefficient will be given to you. Now, if you look at this document, not only does it tell you how to do the experiment, it will also provide to you some measurements that I have collected. And using those numbers that I have collected, or those data that I have collected, use the equations that is seen on the either in the lecture notes or in the lab write-up, and you will be able to see how those reflection coefficient and the absorption coefficient of the material can be calculated. And you will see how it varies with frequency and with thickness. All right. So in this course, we will have lectures, work problems, assignment, and laboratory. All right. Is is there any questions so far? Okay, if there's no question, I will just keep going. Okay, now this is a document that you should be able to download from your Moodle. Okay. What is this basically tell you what is required of you? Now, as we said, the lecture and work, the lectures and the work examples, they are actually built into the set of notes that has been uploaded on Moodle. Okay. Now, and during the because lectures are recorded, I would expect you to view the MP4 files, and during the our 1 hour lecture, now what I would do is to get you started on the tutorial, on the work problem, okay, for submission. Now, in the past, we don't do that. We basically let you have the problem and you work it out yourself. But because the times are difficult and I fully understand that things can be very stressful, and during this 1 hour of lecture, I will make sure that you will have some help and you will be guided. Okay, and that does not diminish the educational value of the tutorial problem. But what that means is that it will be a lot less stressful for you. And I'm fully aware that things can be very difficult. All right. So I'll try and make things as, I'll try and help you along. Okay. Now, as I said, as we shown you earlier, you are required to do the weekly submission of the work problem for assessment. And like I said, these are all transposed into a series of multiple choice questions, okay? But the Word document for the work problem is also provided, all right? Now, as I said about the assignment, this is associated with SEP number 1, which we will be doing later on in the course. Now, this assignment is open now, and it will remain open until close to the end of the semester when you are required to submit the assignment for assessment, okay? Now, there are instructions here which says that you're limited to, there's limited the response to at most 4. Now, this is the maximum. If you think that you can convey the message to me in less than 40 lines, so be it, all right? The reason why I put it like so is so that it will limit your work. Okay, so now if you need to put any figures, because you can't paste figures into the spaces we provided for the text, what I would like you to do is to scan the document, put it into a PDF form, and then just not attach, but put it into the Dropbox associated with that the question that I've allocated space for you. All right. Now, because all the lectures are recorded and they are all available online, and because this is a 6 credit point subject, I would expect you to do at least 12 hours of study per week. Okay, and please do not leave things to last minute. Now, these 12 hours per week, traditionally, it will include 5 hours of lectures and classes. Now, this is where the contact hours, this is where our contact hours, well, our contact hours, previously we had lectures and problem solving class and laboratory, but now we have all the lectures are recorded, so there's no lectures, so to speak. So all these lectures you can view. Please view them during this 5 hours, and then the series of MP4 files has been uploaded for you. Okay. Now this is your contact hours, but we would expect that you have another 7 or so hours of private study. All right. Now, I understand that times are difficult, and things are changing so fast, and it can be very stressful at times. But please not leave things last minute, and try and work these things through as quickly as you can. And when you look at the submission date for the various work problem set that we have assigned for you, you find that you have plenty of time to do them. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you should leave things to the last minute. All right. Now, as far as the lectures are concerned, now today is somewhat special because this is our first week. There will be no problem solving class. Okay, but traditionally, our lecture will start from 4 to 5. Okay, it will go from 4 to 5. And the lecture today will still be as scheduled from 4 to 5. The reason why is because I want to go through some of the stuff with you so that you'll be ready for your problem solving class for next week. All right. Now, this here is our Zoom address for the lecture. And when it comes to the 1 hour of problem solving classes, the problem solving class is scheduled for Wednesday as well, from 1 to 2 p.m. Okay. Now, please come to this Zoom address for your problem solving class. As far as the laboratory is concerned, now the laboratory, there are 3 lab sessions. When you are required to attend either one of these labs, these are the respective Zoom ID that you should log yourself into for these respective lab classes. We will have demonstrator for each and every one of these lab class, and for the noise measurement lab, Hassan will be helping us, and Rayma will be helping us with the absorption lab, and then Rowan Healy will talk you through your transmission loss lab. All right. So the problem solving class will be from 1 to 2, and then the laboratory class, it will also be on Wednesday, and that is scheduled from 3 to 4. I forgot to put the. Okay, so the laboratory class will be from 3 to 4 p.m. Now, is there any question? Actually, it might, if you're not speaking, it would be good to mute your microphone because I can hear all kinds of noise from where I am. Okay, I can hear ambulance going, or the sirens. Okay, any other questions? Any questions?
Hey, I want to ask if it's possible to view the recording of the lectures.
Yeah, the lectures are all uploaded.
Oh, okay.
The recording of which lecture? This one?
Yeah, okay, thanks.
I'm recording this. So when we are done, I will put it up on Moodle for you. Okay, but all the other lectures are also recorded. It has been already been put up on Moodle for you.
So there won't be any Zoom lecture during that time?
Which time?
Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. So there won't be any Zoom.
Yes. This today will be as scheduled.
Okay.
Is that recorded?
Thank you.
Sorry?
Is the lecture at 4 to 5 p.m. recorded as well?
Yes, it will be recorded. I'll record. Well, that's if the internet doesn't fail me, right? But I'll record. I'll record all the all every single session that we have. Okay.
Thanks.
Look, I think this is a very different time, and we just have to help one another to get this thing through. All right, and I mean it. All right. Any other question? Yeah.
Yes, the lectures are recorded, right? So
yes.
What we'll be doing on between 4 to 5? Like I didn't get that. There are 1 and 2, between 1 and 2, and 4 and 5.
Now now this week is special. This week we do not have problem solving class. Okay, instead of having a problem solving class from 1 to 2, we're having a lectures now. But from next week onwards, our lectures will be from 4 to 5. And 1 to 2 will be our problem solving class. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. But you told that we have to see the lectures. They already been uploaded beforehand.
Yes.
So I didn't get what we'll be doing in between 4 to 5. Like you'll be explaining the doubts or.
Yeah, the lecture at 4 to 5. I will, as we said, I will try and start you off on the tutorial problems that you are required to do.
Okay.
Because there's a problem solving class next week, and you'll be required to hand in things for submission, for assessment. Whereas previously, I will let you go figure it out on your own. But because all our lectures are already recorded, during the lecture hours, what I would do is to go through the problems so that it will help you out, and you will not have to. You'll be guided along the way when you do when all ready for your problem solving class for next week. Is that clear?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, because I just look. I want to help. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Now, if there's no question, let's move on to the next bit. Now, in the on Moodle, I have separated you into groups. Okay, and I'll tell you what is the function of the group. Or actually, let's have a look at the why we want this group. Just give me a second. Okay. Now, this is the schedule that we are working towards. Okay. Now, this is for our laboratories. Now, all our laboratories will be done online or take home. Okay. And these are all individual exercises. So you don't have to, you will totally be socially isolated. All right. Now, if you look at this table, we have 3 labs: noise measurement, absorption coefficient, and transmission loss lab. And the labs are scheduled every Wednesday from 3 to 4 p.m. Week number 1, which is now, we have no lab classes. All right. Next week on, we will have lab classes. And these numbers here, these are your lab grouping. Okay. So if you have been assigned the lab group number 1, on this day, you'll be doing noise measurement 3 to 4 p.m. So have a look at which Zoom address or Zoom ID you need is relevant to you. Go into the Zoom meeting and the lab demonstrator will be there to talk you through this particular laboratory. If you're in group number 2, on this week, next week, you'll be doing your absorption coefficient lab and so on and so forth. Now, you will also see that if you're in group number 1, oh, this should be 1. I'll change that afterwards. But if you're in group number 1, you are only required to turn up for lab in week 1, week 6, and week 7. All right, and the rest of the time, you will not be required to. You're not scheduled for anything, which means that you have that hour to actually do your private study. Is that clear? What that means is that you will not be required to turn up for lab every single week unless you were assigned to that particular lab. Your group is assigned to that particular lab. Okay? Is that clear? And I say again, the only lab report that you need to hand up is the transmission loss lab. Okay? This is the only lab report that is required, and this is the one that but the thing is, attendance will be marked in every single one of these labs. All right, and like I said, there is a reporting template that I've prepared for you for noise measurement. Use the template provided. For your own exercise. Okay, and you will see what is the difference in the noise measurement that you measure during the day, night, and evening period. This is all described in the noise measurement lab for you. And this noise measurement lab, and if you really do practice next time as an acoustic consultant or noise and vibration consultant, these are the kind of things that you do very, very regularly. Okay, the lab set that we have designed, noise measurement, especially noise measurement and transmission loss lab, they are very, very practical. There's something that that we often do as a acoustic or noise and vibration engineer. Okay? Any question? If there's no question, I'll come back up to the. Okay, so these are all your groupings, and if you look at the on Moodle, you will see these lab groupings. Now I have grouped people in groups of, I think there's about 10 or so. Now, there's one thing that I would, okay, this is just a suggestion. All right. Now, I know that there are people who are, how should we put it, really socially isolated. Okay. Now, what I would like you to do is, suggestion is, if you look at this group of people, I suggest that you exchange your email addresses and maybe form a study group of some sort. Okay. Now, because this time, look, I do not know when this lockdown is going to finish, but it will be good to get in touch with one another. All right, and to develop some friendship. All right. Now, please make sure that no one is left behind. Okay. Now, you may say that, oh, I don't know some of these people, but that's okay. Because when you are practicing as an engineer, well, maybe in about 2 years' time. Oh, no, not in your case. Maybe about 1 year or so time. Okay. Now, your colleagues, you cannot choose them. All right. Like it or not, you will have to work with whoever has been assigned to your team, which means that you need to know how to interact with people. But this is a very good chance. But the overarching thing is that we need to take care of one another. All right. And I have seen and heard that people are getting quite lonely and there's nobody to talk to, etc., etc. But it will be good to be able to take care of one another and use this study group as a perhaps is something which is that you can foster some good friendships. Okay. I'm not into social engineering, but what I'm suggesting is that get to know one another, and hopefully we'll be able to get through this extremely well. So, having said that, come November 2020, there will be 2 outcomes that I think you should be striving for. The first thing is a pass grade. Okay. And the second thing is pass grade or HD, whatever. Okay. I can't promise you anything like this. But the second outcome that you should be striving towards is at least 2 new friends. All right. Now, of course, grades will be given to this, but I can't give you any marks or grades for this. But I can tell you that, getting grades and passing the subject is one thing, but getting some new friends and helping people through, that is something that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Okay. Any questions about this table? Now, this table was prepared last week. Now, I expect people. I'm expecting more people to turn up. So please check again. Check grouping on Friday. Okay. We'll probably have a more firm idea of who is in and who is out, and from there we'll be able to tell. Then we'll be able to finalize the group. But as it stands, this is how this is how the grouping will look like. All right. Any questions? Please have a look at the lecture video, and when we come back at 4 p.m. today, okay, I will start you off on the tutorial problems. I'll go through some of the things that that will be covered in the lecture slides, in the MP4 files that I have uploaded for you. And I will walk you through some of the tutorial problems that you'll be required to do, okay? Are there any questions? I'm still getting used to running this on Zoom, okay? So if there's anybody who has left things on the, okay, there are some people who's left messages. Look, I'm sorry for not responding to all these chats, but the thing is, I'm still getting used to this, and it's very hard trying to juggle a few things at one time. All right, there's one question. Does group 6 does 2 lab at the same time? Okay, there may be an error. I'll check through the lab groupings and I'll update it for you by Friday. Okay. Okay. I will update lab schedule and groupings by Friday. All right, and please be patient with me as well, because I'm still grappling with this, but what I like to assure you is that please be assured that will help you. Okay, we'll help you get through this unit, not this pandemic. Okay. All right. Looks like group 1 will be doing the group 1 should be doing the. I will update. I will have to update I'll update the what do you call it, the lab schedule. Okay. Are there any questions?
You mentioned for the lab groups that we should email other students in our groups, but how would we get their email addresses?
Okay, I am not in a position to hand out email addresses, but you know, okay, this is what we've done before. Okay, suggestion. During your lab class, you will see you see all the participants. So if you like, you can share your email addresses then. Yeah, via Zoom. Okay, now, are there any people in MEMEC or any of the student groups in this class? Can you please indicate? Anybody who is in the MEMEC or any of the student groups? No? Now, if you like, I'm not saying that you should do it, but if someone is happy to put up a kind of like a Facebook type thing, or some. I won't suggest WhatsApp group, but Discord. Okay, if someone is happy to take the initiative, then everybody can join, and it can actually work out quite well. Now, instead of having me doing it, it would be good if someone. I'm looking for volunteers. If someone is happy, 2 or 3 people is happy to volunteer and set up one of these groups so that people can interact. I tell you, that is a very good way of making friends, and also, you know, it is something which I think you will treasure for the rest of your life, because 2020 is a very, very different year. Okay, make full use of it. Okay, someone said that you already have a Facebook group chat for this unit. That's good. Can everybody see the Discord? Yeah. Rohit, thank you so much. And Johan, if for the people who are not familiar with the Facebook group, if you can make it a little bit more public, if you want to, you can email it to me. I'll put it up on Moodle for you. Look, at the end of the day, I think it's important that nobody feels alone. Okay, and if there's anything that I can, that a student come back to me in November and say that I was never alone, I feel supported right through, and that is worth more to me than seeing people having high distinctions. All right. Okay. Look, that being the case, please have a look at join the Discord that you can see, and also join the Facebook group. It's time to make some friends. The good thing about being online, using this kind of platform, is that nobody can see your face. Even if you're shy or you're reserved, never mind. Just be part of it. Okay? All right. If there's nothing else, look, I'll sign off now, and we'll come back, and I'll see you again at 4 p.m. today. And I'll set you on the right track for the tutorial for next week. All right? Okay. Thank you very much. I'll see you at 4.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.